Hey everybody, I'm Crantonimo with Vortex Media, and this video is going to be how to automate your GEO or your generative engine optimization. The days of only worrying about SEO are just about over because people aren't really Googling things anymore. They're using AI engines to find answers and to find solutions for their problems. So we want to automate how we improve our ranking in the AI answers so that when somebody types a prompt that has something to do with our product are one of the products that show up first. I'm a tech lead at a Fortune 50 enterprise company, and I've worked across Fortune 500 all the way up to Fortune 50, mid, late stage, early stage startups, US Army government work, finance world, technology, even Silicon Valley companies. And I'm taking all of this experience and putting together valuable resources for you to automate really important parts of your business so that you can spend less time on the back end and more time on curating the best possible experience for your customers. When I search specifically for GEO platforms, these are the responses that I get. My first example is going to be Visby AI. After it scans my website, which I have as medpigpal.com, it gives me tasks to do in order to improve automatically. So here it generated these tasks for me to ensure that I can improve these things with different levels of urgency. It gives a really clear overall report of where I stand now. I have 8 GEO tasks to do to improve this GEO score. And it even helps me with my SEO. So I can, even though it focuses on GEO, this also helps me with SEO and gives me tasking in order to improve my SEO automatically. If I want to create new content to improve my GEO, I can go here, create new content, generate new brief, and it creates brand new content for me to post on my website to help with the AI indexing. I need to know my competitors and how they are actually ranking in the space that I'm working in with this app. I'm behind Gong.io, prompt visibility. Now I can see what prompts people use and how things are actually cited for that prompt. So what are the latest tools for transcript management? And I can look at the different citations that Gemini provides. They have these. Then I can look at the citations that Claude provides. And I can continuously keep up to date with this. I can see how on each individual prompt or kind of prompt that I will rank or be cited on any of these platforms. Some of the cons. In order to get a free trial, you have to hook up your credit card. You have to sign up for a $79 a month package. Unless you hook up your card and start a free trial, there is absolutely no way to see how this works. One of the major number one cons will go back to how we started the video. When I searched in ChatGPT for best ranking GEO platforms, this app doesn't actually show up at all. In this first one and in the second one with a slightly different prompt, it legitimately doesn't show up at all. Even though they have a really nice UX, it seems like you have really good reporting. The reality is that they don't seem to be able to get results out of their own tool. The application itself is fantastic. All the reporting is wonderful. All the different across the different AI providers, amazing. How my prompts rank in each provider, fantastic. The problem is that they don't rank. All right, for our next example, we have SEMrush. I love this. It's showing me exactly how the application is working. It builds tons of trust. Now it's gathering my keywords and crawling all the pages. There's just tons of features, tons of different AI stuff, tons of different specific SEO stuff, traffic, email, paid search, organic social, even the things that are happening with things like Google Maps. It has article generators, SERP optimizers, social poster, social tracker, content insights. You can an AI social content generator, influencer analytics. You can do ads AI agent, ads launch agent, PPC keyword tool. There's just so many different features. This is a huge one-stop shop to optimizing everything about how your website performs with your marketing. This is definitely for somebody that has a great deal of SEO experience, knows all these different things, or is really interested in getting super deep and really refined about SEO and GEO. So it says my brand isn't present on AI platforms yet. That's very interesting. But it does tell me exactly what I need to do. Topics where your brand is missing, create content, puts you back in the conversation and boosts your AI visibility. It was nice that Visby gave me my competitors automatically, but it's probably a little bit more honest for me to add my own. Zoom meeting transcription tools. Okay, I have to pick one of the predefined prompts. So I can look exactly at predefined prompts that it finds that have been used or topics, and I can see exactly the brands managed, brands mentioned here. Since it is a very complex software, they have a pretty robust help center here. AI visibility. This is really robust documentation. Go to the toolkit, shows you how brands appear in AI generated answers. Gives me a lot of explanation. Cons. With so many tools covering so many different domains of website optimization for AI and SEO and all these different things, social media marketing, blah, blah. If you already have tools for those things, you won't get the full value of the product because you're just here for this. Some of these things are a little bit confusing to use, so you really got to spend time in the help center. It's definitely a learning curve for this one. For AI visibility, it's going to be $100 a month per domain. So for one website, you can track 25 prompts, one domain for brand performance analysis, mentions, competitor analysis, etc. You have to buy each part of it separately, which can get expensive, but it also does keep you from feeling like you're wasting resources on tools you're not using. So if you just want this for the AI visibility, then you have that $100 a month. And that is definitely going to be more than the $79 a month. Seems like there's less limits. It's a little bit more expensive, but the one important thing to pay attention to, SEMrush showed up as the number 2 answer. And in the first prompt that I did, it showed up in its own section, hybrid tools, and it's number 1 in its own section for SEO and GEO together. So that means that they are using their own technology to rank well in this area. Now into our next example, Peak AI. Peak AI is the third one to come up. And for this slightly different prompt, if I look through here, Peak AI is nowhere to be found. So that means it slightly works. It is extremely clean. The UX is so nice, very modern, very well done. You do have to sign up in order to get that free trial, and then it's automatic. It's kind of a trend, and I think it's really sketchy, but it's what people are doing. 50 prompts, 3 models, unlimited users, daily tracking frequency in one project, and then 200 for Pro. Some of the pros, this UX is gorgeous. The information is so nicely displayed. How different things are ranking top brands across LLMs for your prompts. So when I start, it gives me a list of automatically generated prompts that have to do with what it scans for my website, and then I can add more or remove some. And then it's showing me what stuff is actually showing up in regards to those prompts. And you can see I'm not showing up at all, so my website blows. Here, these are the domains where the AI scans for information that provides the response to the user. And so like if I want to improve my ranking, I can see here that I probably want to get something about my application onto avoma.com or momentum.io. Or talk about it more on YouTube or LinkedIn, and really just emphasize getting content created on here for the AI to crawl and be able to give me better visibility. So I can like see all these prompts that I have, enterprise and different topics, list providers of AI driven sales. I can see like mentions about how often it's done in the industry, and I can add more prompts. I can remove them. So any recent chats that users have been doing, I can go into one of these and see like assuming size of 50 reps. This is something that somebody else did, and I can see what the actual response was and what was cited. The negatives is that it doesn't give me automated to-dos. So I have to use a little bit of intuition it does give me these really great tools to know where I need to create content so that I'm better ranked and who's beating me in regards to the prompts and who's being cited more and all that. But it doesn't give me exact specific things on ways to update the content on my site or what kind of content to create or anything like that. So that is something that I have to do elsewhere. It doesn't provide that for me. You have to hook up your hard card to get a trial. 7 days is not really meaningful trial time to really see if it's going to deliver on the promise. It is a bummer that I don't have like auto content generation based on my site. And that's really the only cons that I have for it. I really don't have a lot of cons. I really like this software. I think I can figure out how to improve my content. It's better for monitoring and to seeing if what I'm doing is actually working and helping. The next example we have is Profound AI. Review lists of prompts curated for your brand. Makes it really easy. So I can just kind of look through these, remove them, whatever. I'm just gonna try these. I can run these prompts. That's pretty useful. So I can select these prompts and then run them through ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google AI Overviews, submit. And then I can get a report as to how I rank after I run these prompts. So I can get a visibility score here. So it looks like ChatGPT gives me a 10.8. Google AI gives me 2.8. It's actually showing up better with some of these prompts that it generated. So I can see how I do against my competitors or things within my wheelhouse and where I was actually cited at. I can improve my visibility here. It has a really great configuration panel so that I can very simply do content creation. I can create articles right away that are going to help my GEO. It implements agents. I don't know how this agent thing works, but they had a really clear way to onboard on how they even see how it works right here. There's definitely some learning curve, but it doesn't seem very much. Everything's designed so well and really beautiful, really easy to look at and understand all of the data points that I want to know about. I can create a knowledge base here. I can create a brand kit here, stuff about my brand to use in other content generation things. So like my branding is consistent among content generation. Some of the cons, you definitely have to take the time to look through all the videos to understand what's going on. This is going to be a lot more difficult for a regular business user to use that's in any kind of trades or any kind of e-commerce type thing. This is going to be a little bit more difficult for somebody in those areas because this application is definitely geared towards people that have software products. If I was an electrician or a plumber, I think if I came in here to try and improve my AI response visibility, I think I would maybe have a little bit of a hard time because it's not really built for me. It's built for somebody that specializes in optimizing visibility for businesses. Now, if you were to hire somebody that has this kind of expertise and is specific to your marketing department per se, it would be useful to have them spend the time to learn how to use all of this. But if I was just working on my own business and the main people I have to hire are just other electricians or other plumbers, or if I run a service business like a restaurant, a medical spa, I may have a marketing person, but I might be doing a lot of things on my own and I might have a tough time with this application. So I have to purchase a starter plan in order to use it at all. In order to be able to get a trial, I have to do this growth plan. Really kind of sketchy because they don't give you a trial for the starter one. They make you do a trial for the growth one. It's a 7-day trial. I have my Cash App card with no overdraft protection and no money on it, so they can't charge me. It is getting you in a little bit of a trap of like, you could forget about it and boom, $400 gone. Really not a great way to do business. The caveat is that it seems to work. With this one, I can only track more than just ChatGPT if I get this growth plan, and that's $400 a month. That is very expensive. Okay, this is our last example. Athena HQ AI. Now, I'm including this one because it works. I get Athena HQ as the number 2 result. From what I can see from the app, it looks really nice. A lot of stuff to make it look fancy, but not a lot of showing me how it delivers on the promise. Similar price point as Profound. There's no free trial. And that's a huge con. Not having any kind of demo for me to get an insight as to how it'll work for me, if it's going to deliver on the promise at all or anything, or get familiar with it until I give them $100. It is absurd and ridiculous. Now, it's a really good thing to compare Profound to because Profound works way better. They give you a free trial. I really like Visby. I like everything it does. It's tough because it just doesn't work for themselves, because this will work really well for any business and it's doesn't have as intensive a learning curve as some of the other ones, and it's really clean, fairly easy to use. I would probably keep an eye on these folks because they're definitely a little bit of a newer company. They just really need to work on showing me that the application they built works for them, and I can trust that it's going to work for me. When it comes to SEMrush, it clearly works here and there. It has a ton of features. The learning curve is absurd, but you can do so much with this one. I would only suggest this if you want to completely overhaul your systems for any kind of analytics when it comes to all of your marketing, social, ad, blah, blah, blah. PKI, I think this is a really great software. The pricing is very competitive, $80 a month. You can get really good insights for cheaper than a lot of the other options. It doesn't help me make this better at all, but it is really good for monitoring. So it automates the monitoring part really, really well. Athena, it works. The way they run their business, everything I'm seeing when it comes to how they set everything up, I would never ever pay them $100 to try it out to see if it'll do anything that I want it to do. This is the absolute best one, specifically for software companies. It is very expensive. $400, you can only get a trial for if you do the $400 a month. Its ability to provide you with the stuff to actually help you improve your ranking and stay up to date with it, pretty dang useful. So if you're a little bit mid to late stage startup level, this would be a really good product to use. I would highly suggest it. Early to mid stage, I would suggest PKI, but you can use ChatGPT to do a lot of this like help me stuff. It's just not as seamless and easy to deal with. This solves that pain in the butt really well, but it's really expensive.